Hey everybody, McFlurry here, back here with another video, and the thing for Godzilla vs. Kong, and Godzilla vs. Kong is pretty much going to be here in pretty much 8 or 9 days, almost a week. So yeah, I figured I just might as well just go ahead and do this. I was originally going to make another collection video, but after I'm going to keep updating with more figures on Godzilla vs. Kong, I'll save that video for another time. Yep, and I'm gonna make another video too, like featuring, like what similar things, the merchandise I'm gonna have for Godzilla vs. Kong so far. So yeah, the things. And I just want to give off my own review opinions on the Monsterverse movies, because you might be interested in order to hear them. So yeah, I'm gonna get straight to it. Now, what is my ranking? Now, if you know me on the channel, you probably know what my ranking is. So, let's first start off with the first Godzilla movie, the one that started it all. So yeah, in fact, this is my ranking, and you want to know what it is? I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it already, because you guys maybe know it already, not a big surprise. It's in this order: third place, second place, first place. That is my overall ranking. I'm going to give my reasons as to why. So here, I'm just going to get straight to the case. I'm not going to explain my history with these movies. I'm going to get cut straight to the case and talk about these movies and why, how I like them, my own personal opinion about them. And I don't want to see no arguments in the comment section. It's not good to fight over stuff like this. It's just a movie. Just fictional stuff. There really is no purpose, really. What's the purpose of arguing over this stuff anyway? Or who would win in a fight? Just dumb. Alright, so here we go. Let's start with the first one that started the whole Monsterverse, not even intended to be a part of a cinematic universe. The first chapter of a cinematic universe, originally supposed to be its own movie. That is Godzilla 2013. Now, if you want to learn my history on this, go watch my Monsterverse collection video. So yeah. A little while ago, I binge watched all the movies. So, very good. I was originally going to binge watch them again, but, I learned enough about them, I guess. Plus, I really do, but I feel like I just won't have the time to. Plus, unfortunately, it's family situations, but it's okay. So, yeah. So, let's start with the first film. You got Godzilla 2014 here. Now, here's the thing. I gotta be in the mood to watch this film. And I gotta look into it as not a regular, typical, normal Godzilla movie. It's probably the same thing you would have to get with the original first Godzilla movie. And I might have to cut here because my sisters are here in the background. My mom's out getting food. So yeah, I just decided to make this little video because I just figured it would be an interesting idea. So yeah, basically, to me, you just gotta be in the right mood to watch this Godzilla film. Just kind of similar to the 1954 Godzilla film. And a lot of people trying to say it is like 1954. Yeah, it is like the 1954 of the Monsterverse. I can definitely agree with that now. Although it does no another giant monster movie, in my opinion, nearly hold a candle to the darkness that was in the original Godzilla film. And yeah, that's including this as well. So yeah, I just can't really hold a candle in my opinion. So yeah. However, thing is, you have to go into this movie as it's not the normal Godzilla movie. Like this or the Toho Godzilla films. Like, you kind of got to go into it like it's kind of its own thing, but it's Godzilla being portrayed very differently. A little bit realistic side, grounded, and a little bit of the dark atmosphere there. So, and Gareth Edwards said he intended to Godzilla be like a little Jaws thing too. Um, like where the monster doesn't show up, or Jaws or Alien or Predator, where the monster doesn't show up until 30 minutes of the film. And that's a good new approach to Godzilla, in my opinion. That's kind of maybe what the 1954 did, probably, huh? Oh, it's been a long time since I haven't seen that, but long time. I feel like it's kind of what the 1954 did, and Gareth Edwards does a good job at that. I will say he does definitely do that very good. And the monster fighting is good. You know, Godzilla's design is good. The CGI is really good. The monster scenes, they're good, but too much humans cutting away, but okay. And nice little touch and showing from the human's perspective of the monsters and that stuff. And, you know, it's grounded in realism. It takes a little nice take to Godzilla. New take on Godzilla. Bryan Cranston's character was really good. You know, however, sadly, out of the Monsterverse, I feel like the flaws are more realized with this one. Too much humans cutting away. It's very dark. Uh, to kill off Bryan Cranston in the first act, and maybe the humans are not as enjoyable characters, and no, not that much monster action happens in this movie. So yeah, but hey, here, it's best to focus on the positives than the negatives. And looking at this movie the way Gareth Edwards is supposed to portray it, and another thing too, what it did for the franchise as a whole. It brought Godzilla back into the light. Think about it. Think about it if we didn't have this movie, Godzilla fans. Godzilla would have just stayed dead in the world of cinema. We would have never got this. This great Godzilla sequel. We would have never got, yeah, the rematch to that. Yeah, I do have them because I was comparing. We would have never got probably as much. Probably the kaiju genre wouldn't really be that much, uh, realized or that popular, and just and we would have never gotten the return to another one of the most famous giant movie monsters of all time. So yeah, I know eventually he would have come back at some point, but longer, we don't know. And Toho, when got into news of Toho planning their own cinematic universe. So yeah, and therefore I give this film a 7 out of 10, just for that personal reason. So this is like a two disc special edition. I heard there's a new 4K version out, but I don't know. The reviews are kind of mixed on it. They say, "Oh, it hasn't changed one bit." I don't care about that. Just take it if you want to. People are talking about the new version, "Oh, it's not that good. Oh, it is better, the superior version." I don't get it, but I'm just gonna keep this. So yeah, there it is. We got the first film. Then you got Kong Skull Island, which is the thing. The order should go like this. But I don't want to go in regular movie order here. So here you go. Kong Skull Island. Alright, so I do like this much more than Godzilla 2014. Because just more action. It gives you more of the monsters, and it gives you more of the monster. The main star in the movie, Kong. And it just the characters I feel like are a bit more likable. We got more favorite characters in here, like John C. Riley, my favorite my favorite character in the film, Samuel Jackson. The other guy's name, they said he was like the Carl Denham of the movie. Sorry, I forgot the actor's name, but oh, there it is. Yeah, John Goodman right there. Yeah, John Goodman, and yeah, the characters did a fine job. You know, and the monster action was cooler in this, more action and good CGI, and you can see everything. So it just did, you know, my opinion, I think it just did better. So, the fight scenes were better as well. Characters better, the action scenes are better, more likable characters, and more favorite characters to choose, which are your favorite, and gives you more of the main star. And another thing too is that this is like, not my childhood Godzilla, but I can at least accept it now. I've grown more mature. Yeah, I still give it a 7 out of 10. Here, it feels like more like, the classic traditional King Kong and that stuff. And Kong in this movie is really good, you know. And that's another thing I forgot to mention about Godzilla. Godzilla in this movie is pretty well done. But I like Kong in this movie a bit more. Um, so yeah, that's really kind of all I can really say about it, really. Um, well, I got one more thing to say. Well, Kong, he's really good. He's my second favorite Kong next to Peter Jackson's King Kong. However, I didn't really get that much of that sympathy factor like I did with Peter Jackson's King Kong, really. Plus, that'll always remain my number one favorite King Kong design ever. It still even beats the new one, but the new one comes a very close second. I'll talk about that I'll talk my opinion about that in another video, the next video after this. So yeah, Kong Skull Island, it's more fun and has more fun and action entertainment than in the first movie. That's another thing too. Oh yeah, the soundtrack. Soundtrack? I'll rate them on the same as each other. They're pretty okay, in my opinion. So yeah. So, here's the inside. So, that's very cool. We at least got something. I thought it was the bland, generic black or white background. But that's cool. We get something. We get Kong's, that classic, one of those classic shots in the movies with Kong's hand print from blood and that stuff. It's a very cool thing in the movie. And, the creatures are pretty well done and unique in this. So yeah, other than that though, that's really all that I can say. It's better than the first movie in the Monsterverse. So yeah, in my opinion at least. So yeah, I'll give Kong Skull Island an 8 out of 10. Now, you already know what is my favorite film of the Monsterverse so far, because of Godzilla vs. Kong. We'll have to see if that movie beats that, which I'm sure it will. So yeah, where do I even start with this? I'm going to quickly get this out of the way as fast as I can. The thing is about King of the Monsters, it surprised me. That's another thing too. It surprised me on how just like they were able to get a good American Godzilla movie that pays tribute and respect to the Toho Japanese films. That's another thing too. And they pay respect to the original Godzilla series, and it just feels overall like a kaiju Godzilla film. It's more of a thrill ride than both those movies, has the most fun and action entertainment, has the best action scenes in my opinion, and it may not have the best CGI in the Monsterverse, but it's not terrible. It's not ugly, I would say. It's okay. And it's very passable CGI. The monsters are very good in this. Rodan, Mothra, King Ghidorah were all good in this. Godzilla, major improvement over the first film. And they just pay respect to the actor that played Godzilla in the early Showa era. Well, in the Showa era, I would say. And the soundtrack, the original soundtrack was very good. They brought back Akira Fukube's theme. You know, it's just like the fight scenes, even though, yeah, the humans, they still cut away to the dang humans. But it's more passable, and there are shots where you can see the humans and the monsters fighting at the same time. And that's a very cool touch. And all the colors in this movie is just very good. I really like the blue theme. It's my favorite color theme out of the Monsterverse so far. And, you know, very great shots. You know. And, the new kaiju were cool. And just great. The most best, in my opinion, best memorable scenes. Most best and most memorable scenes in the Monsterverse. That very touching moment with Serizawa and Godzilla. And it kind of has the most, in my opinion, the most likable and passable characters. Serizawa is personally my favorite. Man, I cannot talk. Personally, my favorite major improvement from the 2014 film. Just in my opinion, better fight scenes. And spoiler alert, burning Godzilla. Burning Godzilla. And winks, nods, and references to the Toho Godzilla film and that stuff. That credit scene was so bad but and cool. And the build-up for Godzilla vs. Kong was great. So yeah. And you know, it's just a overall really really good, fun, action, entertaining Godzilla film. Really. And this definitely gives what the fans want, really. In my opinion, it's also balanced between the humans and the monsters, in my opinion, which is pretty good. And, you know, the major surprise to me just made me even like this movie even more. And to me, it really, I don't know, this may sound crazy, but it just feels like the true return to Godzilla, because we never really got anything like that, like anything like Godzilla, like craziness or action or 2014, did something new for the franchise. Toho wanted to follow with that success, and they went back to the 1954 roots, technically differently. And then the anime came out. But here, this is more like a true return to like the childhood Godzilla. Like this is the comeback to one of my favorite childhood characters. So yeah. So, with all that being said, really anything else I have to say about the film? Well, that's pretty much it. But what earns it an extra point too, is that it has the most, in my opinion, it has the most rewatch value out of the Monsterverse films. So yeah, 2014, I still give it a 7 out of 10, but it holds just the less rewatch value that the really, it holds the less rewatch value. Kong Skull Island holds way more better rewatch value, and I can sit to that movie again. But here, the most watchable movie out of the Monsterverse, and it pays respect to the Toho Japanese Godzilla films, and just like, basically, and plus another thing too is just like, the negatives aren't really as present with these two films like this. So yeah. With all that being said, I give Godzilla King of the Monsters a 9 out of 10. So, sorry. Ugh. Very hard to do this with one hand, especially with the other hand when I'm holding the phone. There it is. Blue disc. Very cool. So, that is my overall rating of the Monsterverse movies. So here's my final thoughts, my final conclusion. 2014, 7 out of 10. Kong Skull Island, 8 out of 10. Godzilla King of the Monsters, 9 out of 10. Basically, just, yeah, I know I said this before, but I will say it again. I just generally feel like the Monsterverse is just getting better through each movie, through each film. So, yeah. On the other hand, though, I will say, in my opinion, the Monsterverse is going strong as a cinematic universe, and I think I might like it as because of this movie. I think I like it now just as much as the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yeah, that's pretty much my review, and stay tuned for next time. I'll be taking a look at what I have related to King Kong vs Godzilla, because the new movie that's going to come out, and let me know in your opinion and personal thoughts. Which do you think is the best Monsterverse film? And another thing, are you on Team Kong or are you on Team Godzilla? So yeah, let me know in the comment section below, uh, down below, and very interested to hear your thoughts and opinions and the reasons why you like the film. So yeah, with that being said, this is McFlurry signing out. So yeah, this is McFlurry. McFlurry's review on the Monsterverse. If you want to know my own personal thoughts and opinions why I like these movies, there you go. It's out there. So yeah, stay tuned for my next video. Peace out.